channel. This video will be a little bit shorter than the last video. Today, I'll be discussing why Ryan Day and Ohio State is under so much pressure right now than any other program in college football right now. Adjust my microphone. Hope you can hear me. And I'll keep this a little bit short. But first off, I want to apologize for the last video I did. I noticed some footage cut out from it, especially at the end. I didn't recognize that when I was uploading it, so I apologize. I deleted the footage as soon as it was uploaded because I can't really keep all that footage on my phone, otherwise I won't have any memory. So I apologize, and I wasn't really gonna say anything. I already went through how many games Ohio State is gonna win and what's gonna happen with their season and how their season's gonna go. So I really, at the end, I was just thanking you guys for watching. It's really nothing to it. It's just, it was just a bunch of extra stuff I was just saying. So anyway, let's just get into it. I have a list of why Ryan Day is under so much pressure, and it's kind of simple, really. One, he has the most talented roster in college football right now, hands down. Think about it, because you have a lot of transfers like Caleb Downs, the guy, the lineman from Alabama. His name is Seth McLaughlin, I think that's his name, hopefully. And you have Julian Sain too. Otherwise, I don't think he's really gonna play this year, but I just thought it was worth saying. Oh yeah, you have your I would say 80% of your defense back, including Caleb Downs. So you're bringing back a lot of talent from last year's defense, which was pretty elite, top 3 in the nation. It really improved from the 2022 season. Even though the 2022 season was an improvement from the 2021 season, but it still wasn't very elite. It was just top 20 in my opinion. But it was still an improvement, but still not elite. Not elite to beat teams like Michigan or Georgia. So offense, you kind of lose some players like Marvin Harrison, Kyle McCord. You know, who else you lose? Some linemen, and I mean that's really it. You have a lot of talent returning on offense too, like Emeka Egbuka. You have Travion Henderson. You have a transfer I forgot to mention in Quinshon Judkins. He's another running back for Travion Henderson. Yeah, those guys will be a great duo this year, hopefully. And you have a lot of receivers like Carnell Tate. You have Jalen Ballard, Jeremiah Smith, I'm so sorry, you guys. The fire alarm went off because somebody was cooking in my dorm kitchen. So where were we? Ohio State has the most talented roster in college football right now. You also have a transfer in Will Howard. I think he could be a bit of a step up from McCord. Me personally, again, like I said in the last video, I didn't think Kyle McCord was terrible. He helped us win some games, but also, he kind of, dropped the ball in the Michigan game with 2 interceptions. But he also made some good passes in that game, too. But, yeah, again, I'm not really a big hater of Kyle McCord. I hope he does great in Syracuse. Best of luck to him. But, yeah, I think Will Howard could be a step up from McCord a little bit. He's very athletic. He's probably not the best passer in in college football. I mean, he's pretty average in passing, but he can run. He's a very athletic quarterback, and he could really win some games for us if he stays focused like any other player on the team. So that's all I have for that. But and speaking of talented roster, Ohio State is ranked in like the top 3, or probably number 1 in every college football poll there is, like On3, 247, CBS, Fox, you name it. That's for a reason, because Ohio State has the most talented roster in college football right now. This is probably the most talented roster Ryan Day has ever had. Probably, it could be better than 2019. It's probably better than 2020. Who knows? I mean, it's better than the past 3 years. I'll tell you that. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of pressure. Like people, there's like a lot of fans that expect a lot from Ohio State this year, and Ohio State just can't get under pressure and just freak out. When August hits with our first game, Akron. We probably could struggle in the first 3 games. Who knows? But probably in the fourth game with Michigan State, we'll probably get rolling. Hopefully. And just Ohio State just needs to handle the pressure very well. If they don't, this could be a terrible season. Because if a team has a lot of pressure put on them, they could drop the ball a little bit. So yeah. Another thing, Ryan Day lost to Michigan 3 times in a row. We already know this. 2 times to Jim Harbaugh and 1 to Sharon Moore, the past interim head coach for Jim Harbaugh when he was suspended for 3 or 4 games in the season. One game being the East Carolina game, I think. It was a game early of the season, the first game of the season for Michigan. And the last 3 games, Sharon Moore coaching the Penn State game, he coached in the Maryland game, and he coached in the Ohio State game. And he won all 3 of those games. Well, all 4 of those games, actually. So, yeah, he's going to be the new head coach of Michigan. So, Ryan Day has a chip on his shoulder right now because he already lost to Sharon Moore, an interim head coach. Now, you can say, Michigan had a talented roster, better than Ohio State. I mean, I picked Michigan over Ohio State last year, regardless who was going to coach. Even if Jim Harbaugh was out, I thought Ohio State was just going to lose anyway because I think Michigan's offense is good enough to make enough plays to, get past Ohio State's defense. Even though Ohio State's defense played a little bit better last year than it did the years before, the 2 years before in 2022 and 2021. Ohio State's offense couldn't really get past Michigan's defense. Very often, they scored 3 touchdowns. Don't get me wrong, but there was one drive in the Michigan game I saw some improvement. It was in the third quarter. We scored with 5 minutes left in the third quarter against Michigan. We just ran the ball down the field 8 times and we scored on them. So I saw some potential that can lead to some potential next year, if you know what I mean. Because we have a lot of offensive guys back. I think we can. Offensive line could get better this year, hopefully. Even though Michigan's defensive line is coming, a lot of defensive linemen for Michigan, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Rayshawn Benny. That's all I can know. That's all I know from my top of my head. Yeah, those guys are coming back. Oh, Josiah Stewart. Yeah, he's an edge rusher. He's coming back. He's pretty good. And Michigan has a bunch of backups that can help too. Their secondary is coming. Some of their secondary is coming back. Like Will Johnson, probably the best corner in college football right now. Yeah, he's coming back. Makari Page, I think he's a safety, I believe, or a nickelback, something like that. He's in the secondary. He's pretty good. Can't really say. Well, they brought in a few transfers from UNLV. I think they brought in a transfer from a lot of small division schools, but but these DBs were pretty good at their lower division schools. So yeah, they can be a big help to Michigan. Excuse me. So Ohio State, they have this game at home. They do. And to be an elite team, you have to beat Michigan at home this year. Just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to. Oh, if you want to be an elite team, beat Oregon on the road. Oh yeah, and beat Penn State on the road too. Penn State is going to be, I think they're going to be a average team, but this game could be played in the whiteout in State College. So if any of you Buckeye fans know that could spill a little bit of trouble. because you know how the whiteout is. You know, it's loud, destructive, probably the best environment in college football. I mean, for Penn State, but not for any other, college football team, because like, you could actually lose that game. Yeah, Penn State has a good chance of beating us this year. In order to be an elite team, you have to beat all three of those teams. You'll probably see one of them in the Big Ten championship beat them again. You'll be an elite team if you do all that. And I predicted that we were going to lose to Oregon because Oregon's offense is very talented and Oregon's defense is very talented. Yeah, I think Ohio State, they could probably keep it close, but it's probably not going to be enough to beat Oregon because Oregon's wide receiver room is very explosive. It's probably the most explosive wide receiver room this defense has ever faced because I don't think, except for Mizzou, Ohio State hasn't faced a wide receiver core like this ever, in a long time. So I think this could be a struggle for Ohio State. I think Oregon will get the win at the end of the day. But I predicted Ohio State can meet Oregon in the Big Ten championship and probably even beat them. You can probably have a second chance against them. So, yeah, in order to be an elite team, you have to beat all three of those teams in the same season. Now, I kind of have some confidence in the Penn State game, even though, their defense is not going to be as elite as last year because it was probably the number one defense in the nation last year. I think their best defensive player is going to be Abdul Carter, the edge rusher. He used to be a linebacker, but now he's an edge rusher, and I think that's very good for him because he's a very good pass rusher. He's very fast. He's very quick. He's very strong. He's very explosive. So, yeah, I think that's the best position for him. I kind of agree with that. So, yeah, you got to watch him. And in the last video, I went through what you can do to beat Penn State. It's going to be a tough game. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a very tough game. But I think Ohio State can win. Hopefully, it's probably going to take an overtime or two to beat them. That's my opinion. So, yeah, you just got to beat all three of those teams to be elite. So you haven't won or made it to a Big Ten championship in over probably 3 years since 2020 when we played Northwestern. You beat Northwestern by 10, I think. I think that's a score margin. Because the last Big Ten championships, they've been dominated by Michigan. Michigan has dominated teams like Iowa and Purdue, and I think it was Iowa. Yeah, it was Iowa again. They beat Iowa twice in the Big Ten championship. So the Big Ten championship is not going to be like that. It's not going to be. There's no divisions, so it's not going to be teams like Ohio State or Michigan or even Oregon beating on some team like Northwestern or Wisconsin, a team that's not even ranked. And it's not even worth watching. You already know you're going to win, so what's the point of watching all that? It's just going to watch a blowout. It's like watching probably a first week game for an elite team where they just play a lower division school. So it's not really worth watching. It's not very exciting. We haven't really gotten an exciting Big Ten championship in a long time. Probably since 2019, I want to say, when Ohio State took on Wisconsin. I think it was 2019, right? I think. Hopefully. So in order to be an elite team, you have to make it to the conference title game. You just have to. You'll probably see a team like Oregon or Michigan or probably even Penn State, possibly. Now, probably the team that I think we're going to face in the Big Ten championship, if we make it, is probably Oregon, hands down. So, you just got to make it to the Big Ten championship if you want to be an elite team. So, another thing, Ryan Day, he has he's had the top 5 recruiting class in the college football for the past 5 years. Yeah, in the past 5 years, and he still hasn't won like a national championship. Granted, they did make it to a national championship in 2020, but it wasn't really exciting. Ohio State just got rolled by Alabama, and Alabama won. You know, it's just a forgettable season, and that was that. But yeah, you made it to the Rose Bowl in 2021. I mean, it was a great game, but it's not really. I mean, I'm kind of glad that we won the game because look at me, I have the hat. You can see that. There you go. Kind of old, but hey. I mean, it's great that you win the Rose Bowl because a Rose Bowl is kind of important. It's kind of a great bowl game. So yeah, 2022 we made it to the playoffs. Surprisingly, because some teams like some teams just lost in order for us to get into the college football playoffs. And, just some weird scenarios and all that. So yeah, we battled against Georgia, but obviously we didn't win. Now that shocked me because I didn't think we'll hang that long with Georgia and how good their defense is. We kind of exposed their defense really. We're probably the toughest team they played all year. And no, it wasn't in the national championship where they had the toughest team they played because TCU just got steamrolled 63-7, I think. Yeah, one of the biggest bowl game blowouts ever. So yeah, we were the best team they faced all year that year. So it kind of had some momentum coming into 2023. Even though I didn't think we were going to make the playoffs last year, I just didn't because I didn't think we had that talented of a roster. I thought we were going to probably go 8-2, losses to Michigan. I knew that, and I thought we were going to lose to Penn State possibly, but since we beat Penn State by shutting down the offense, so we ended up 11-1. Well, actually 11-2 since we lost to the bowl game, a Cotton Bowl against Mizzou, and they were a pretty good team as well. And they're probably going to be another team that we could face in the playoffs. So yeah, top 5 recruiting classes since 2020. You have 6 guys returning from the 2020 class. You have 10 guys returning from the 2021 class. 11 return from the 2022 class, 20 return from the 2023 class, obviously. And you have the 2024 class. So you have like 15 guys in that so far. So, you have 15 guys in that. I think it's number 2 right now in recruiting. Ohio State is. And Ryan Day hasn't really done a lot with that. Yeah, granted, you have Alabama who has had like probably the number 1 recruiting class consistently. There's Penn State. They had like the number 2 recruiting class one time. They had guys like Drew Aller, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, Abdul Carter in one class. And it really doesn't matter if you make it anymore. It doesn't matter. Just win. Just win. Urban Meyer did in 2014 or 2015, because the national championship and the regular season are not in the same year. So let's just get that straight. So this is probably the best roster Ohio State has ever put together. I don't know, probably. It could be better than 2014, 2015. But yeah, it could be. And you just have to prove it. All it comes down is coaching. You have the best defensive coordinator, in my opinion, Jim Knowles, one of them. You have Chip Kelly. I think he can be a great offensive coordinator. Hopefully, he made some good calls in games. Best wide receiver coach and Brian Hartline. Um, yeah, you have a lot of great coaches. You just gotta put it all together and win a national championship for us. The pressure's on you. But yeah, that's all I have really. It's just a short little video of why I think Ohio State is just so much under pressure. Now they could overcome this by just ignoring all the noise. You have to focus. You can't overlook any other team because any team can beat you. Like I would say, probably Marshall. It could be a who knows? That could be an upset. Hopefully not, but yeah, a game like that could be an upset. A team like I would say Michigan State. Probably Nebraska could upset you. A team like I don't know about Iowa. Their offense it could improve a little bit, but it's not going to be elite because it takes time to build up a program. Like take Jim Knowles for example. Like it took him a year to rebuild a culture at Ohio State defensively. So yeah, any team can beat you. Northwestern can beat you on the road. Indiana can beat you at home. Who knows? You can't overlook any team. You can't underestimate any team. So a team like Akron, West Michigan, I don't think so, but hey, who knows? That could be an upset. A team like probably Penn State can beat you in the whiteout or an afternoon game. It could be like either or. It really doesn't matter. They could beat you either way if they have their A game in that game. So yeah, so you just have to take it in. Just take a deep breath. You guys will probably be fine. Just focus, relax, ignore the noise, and you'll win big games. A lot of teams are going to play the best game against you since you have, a big influence on the college football world right now. That's all I have for this video. Hope you guys liked it, even though it's a little bit short. Well, not really. It's like 21 minutes, 24 minutes since I had to cut it out from the fire alarm that went off earlier. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Love, peace, and go Bucks.